Okay, I think we have a quorum, so we're going to call this meeting to order. I'll wait just a second. Awesome, thank you. Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order of the Inland Valley Development Agency. Madam Clerk, when you finally get situated, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, certainly. Please state your names for the record, members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro. John Echeverria.
Thank you very much. Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Phil Duper.
Thank you. Member from the County of San Bernardino, 5th District.
Supervisor Baca.
Thank you. And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Did we have any requests to speak on closed session?
No public speaker slips for closed session.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we are going to move into closed session for the agenda item there. I think we're all back. Mr. Lewin, would you please report out for us?
We have no reportable actions, Chair.
Thank you, sir. We're going to begin the meeting now with a regular meeting with a call to order and open session and our Pledge of Allegiance. We probably should take roll one more time because we've added some members.
Yes, certainly. Members, please state your name. Members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro. John Echeverria.
Thank you. Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Phil Duper.
Dusty Rigsby.
Thank you very much. Member from the County of San Bernardino, 5th District.
Supervisor Baca.
Thank you. And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Fred Charette.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've asked Council Member Ibarra if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody please stand. Place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Thank you. Mike, are there any items to be added or deleted?
No items, sir.
Thank you, sir. As always, we'll deal with conflict of interest as it arises. Informational items. Mike?
Yes, sir. We've got a couple here. Really, the main thing that we wanted to talk about is, as you know, as we enter the holidays, sometimes meeting times and all that conflict with other things. So Jennifer will be out as she normally is and checking attendance at future meetings there. So if you can, just try to get back so we make sure that we can calendar the meeting. Other than that, that concludes our report.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on to the consent calendar.
Move it.
I have a first and a second by Mayor Navarro and Councilmember Charette.
Thank you very much. We have a motion by Member Navarro and a second by Member Charette. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Echevarria. Member Duper.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Baca.
Baca, aye.
Member Ibarra.
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. Those items pass unanimously.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to our scheduled items. First is Mr. Cousineau.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you, we have a budget adjustment item. It consists essentially of 4 items. 2 of the items are offsetting. One is for a new expenses for products development and testing account line, as well as offsetting revenues of $25,000 each, which will offset to 0 for the budget overall. And then we have another item where we're reallocating insurance between the funds, and that offsets as well. That leaves us with our 2 net expenditure line items for an increase of $36,500. And those are an increase for board meeting expense for translation services of $26,000 and an increase in facility rental for the UAS Center trainings trailer of $10,500. And that completes my presentation.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a first by the supervisor and a second by Mayor Navarro.
Thank you very much. We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Navarro. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Echevarria.
Yes.
Member Duper.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
and Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 7, Mr. Lewin.
And as instructed by the board at our meeting last month, I've reached out to the Cal Interpreting and Translation Services to provide interpreting services here for our regular monthly board meetings. We've reached contract terms with them here at this time. This is the same proposal that was approved last time at the meeting to move forward with it. However, as instructed by the board, I was successful in negotiating a couple terms. We received a 15% reduction in the cost of both the translation services and equipment on it. With regard, as you may recall from a presentation at last meeting, there was a 3 business day termination period within which the full amount would have been due. We're able to succeed in getting a reduction of that for 1 business day for the actual interpreters. That is the best they could do because that is under their contract with the interpreters when they have to pay them if they have been canceled before attending it. With respect to the equipment, which is the smaller portion of the contract amount for each meeting, they had to stick with the 3 business days because what they do is they actually ship all of that equipment to the interpreters, so it's already been gone if we cancel within the 3-day business day period. Other than that is on the terms you have. This would be a contract that would go through the end of the fiscal year through June. It can be terminated at any time upon 30 days notice by either party. They will answer any other questions you may have regarding the contract. Would recommend approval of this contract.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Council Member Ibarra,
Baca, second.
second by Supervisor Baca.
Thank you very much. We have a motion by Member Baca and a motion by Member Ibarra and a second by Member Baca. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Echevarria,
Yes.
Member Duper,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
and Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 8, consider and discuss report on economic development initiatives. Ms. Beltran.
Thank you and good afternoon. In this presentation, we're going to provide you with an overview of the contributions to economic development the IVDA has been advancing. Some of these projects are in partnership with other JPA members and other community agencies. Next slide, please. Oh, we're on the right slide, sorry. So the 3rd and 5th Street corridor improvements is located on the north side of the airport. You can see it highlighted in yellow. The project is in the construction phase, and some of the major activities this last quarter included the pour of concrete on Palm between 3rd and 5th Street. The contractor has made substantial completion of traffic signal modifications as well. The work is at 60% complete, is on schedule to finish by June of 2024. Ultimately, these improvements will reduce the traffic congestion in that area, as well as provide a better and safer access to the 210 freeways. Next slide. The Sterling Avenue project is in partnership with Seminole Band of Mission Indians. This work is being funded by the U.S. Economic Development Administration. The original scope of work included intersection improvements and also the placement of a new bridge over the City Creek bypass channel. Staff recently reviewed the preliminary cost, which estimated at $7.4 million. This is over the $3.2 million that's available in the budget. So the engineering consultant has been asked to consider other value engineering approaches for an alternative entrance. So we're looking at that and sharing that information with EDA for their consideration. Next slide. The 3rd Street corridor project is another roadway improvement project. As you can see from the project limits, it stretches from Victoria Avenue all the way to Del Rosa. This project received $3 million from Department of Transportation Community Project Funding. The agency is currently working with Caltrans and SBTCA on completion of supplementary documents to get this project cleared for the bidding phase once design has been completed. Next slide. The electric vehicle charging stations through Edison's Charge Ready program have been installed at Luxaver. We are currently awaiting for the remaining Edison's electrical gear to finalize the other locations. So we hope to see that completed here by the end of the year. Next slide. This portion of the presentation, the landing and remaining slides, I'm going to hand it back to Mr. Burrows, and he will.
Miriam and
speak
I
on
are going to
that.
share these this time. So,
We do.
as you all know and can see, our partners at San Manuel are putting the finishing touches on the landing out on the east end of the airport. We are on the final stages of working on the on-airport roadways to be improved, including particularly a traffic signal on Victoria at what we call W Street, which is the southerly entrance to their site, as well as the connection of what we call East Drive, which is the road from 3rd Street down onto connect to the airport property. Those are the main things that are still out there. You'll see some traffic control, set up out there. So that work is imminent, and we hope to see that completed here before the end of the year. So next slide, if you could, Jim. Our partners at Hillwood continue to work on the Northgate project just across the street. And then the first element of that will be demolition of some old Air Force buildings that has not occurred yet. Again, set up for start late this year. And then next slide. So again, we appreciate all the feedback on the Airport Gateway specific plan. And as we've said before, this has been placed on hold, understanding we do need technical study updates. And as we had originally drafted and circulated, we can simply say that the plan as drafted is not going to move forward in current form. We know that given the feedback that we've gotten. So we will continue to work on revisions there and get that back to you as soon as possible. But okay. Yeah, it won't move forward in the current form.
So the plan is not moving forward at this point?
Not at this point. It needs substantial revisions.
Thank you very much.
And then I think next slide, Jen. So the UAS Center, this again, from a workforce standpoint, is one of the really exciting ones for me. Something's always new happening over there in this space. And most recently, we've added to our partners. So you've seen internationally there, the kiosk with our partners in Korea, and now Australia in the Queensland University space, Malta, Luxembourg, and most recently we've added Taiwan. So essentially the FAA counterpart to our administration, the Taiwanese have consulted with us and are going to be working on a number of our consultation services to help them stand up similar programs, in their neck of the woods. And so that is brand new, hot off the press. In addition, we've also added in the U.S. sector a partner with the University of Alaska at Fairbanks. And why that's important is they are one of the FAA-approved sites for some of the mid and larger drone technologies. And so they will actually be sending us clientele to be able to participate in their programs. So that really helps put us on the map with some of the very, very large players in the space. Not that we don't have large players, but this really broadens our scope and reach. And then as we've reported, the partnership with San Manuel County Schools, particularly the ROP program, is alive and well. Current contingent of over 20 students going through training and certification, and they're on track to test within the next month. So that's going quite well. So lots of exciting stuff, and hopefully before the end of the year we'll get Ms. Benson out here to give you a full overview. So that concludes our report.
Okay, thank you very much. I do have one public comment on this item. Mr. Jumanji?
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Giovanji, marketing technologist by trade and a San Bernardino City community member for many, many years. Today I'm leaving public comment on the economic development as a general topic and to give some light feedback on what was presented just a moment ago. As I've mentioned before, I'd like to see a diversification of economic development. When we're taking on these projects and challenges, I'd like to see things that are already going on in the area. For example, with Loma Linda University, there's a little bit of biotech, and there could be some biotech opportunities. We could have some aerospace manufacturing opportunities with wildfires increasing, with public, first responder needs at the Air Force Base. Maybe there's something we can do with the UAS component and maybe manufacture things. Also with medical manufacturing, we have multiple, major hospitals, university hospitals in the area. When I was driving by, I think it was in the 3rd Ward, that area that borders Loma Linda, it's a little bit residential, it has some, empty land, large plots. I started noticing large truck trailer yards in the middle of the neighborhood. I was like, is this the best we could do? We're like literally a mile from 2 major hospitals, and the best thing we thought of was putting a truck trailer yard in the middle of someone's neighborhood. So I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement. I think we're in good hands with the IVDA airport staff. I feel like if we keep community in mind and plan from that perspective, there's a lot of great things we can accomplish. Just overall, as my experience as a community member and living in San Bernardino since the early 90s and noticing how it was then to what it is now, it's a drastic change. What I'd like to see with economic development is to see community in mind, like I've mentioned. For example, when we have these large partners and large companies come into town, let's make sure it's a partnership with the community. Case in example with Carmel, Indiana, Cummins Diesel. I don't know if you have any of their trucks or drive their products, but that's a stellar example of how a company has done well for themselves and has partnered with the community really well. So I'm hoping that this happens. I'm wishing you success with this, and hopefully we can continue on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. Excuse me. Okay, moving on to item number 9, Mr. Burrows.
Okay, so we are in October. I want to thank the Finance and Budget Committee for your time today and going through where we're at to the quarter here. Moving forward, next month we should be able to talk about some of the new grant opportunities that we're pursuing out there. Obviously, grants aren't always available, so Miriam has a busy time making sure we're Johnny on the spot when these things come up for application. And then we'll be talking about potential legislative initiatives from the IVDA special district perspective. But heading into the holidays, and again, appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to public comment. I do have 2 speakers. Daniel, did you want to come back up for? Okay.
Thank you once again. I'm feeling in a really chatty mood today. So I might sound a little bit angry at this. I'm not really angry in anyone in particular, but this is just a frustration as a community member. And my frustration is with the general displeasure with the zoning and kind of the decision-making that's been happening for a number of years in the city of San Bernardino, and that's kind of in the scope of the IVDA development area. A few months ago, I mentioned kind of the Valley Truck Farms neighborhood, right, kind of right over here. And what's happened is, in the 1960s, the city of San Bernardino decided, okay, there's a historically black community, there's some residential areas that's kind of run down. It feels like the decision-making to rezone that area was racial and classist in nature, and it kind of disadvantaged a lot of those people that live there. And I'm feeling like there's a lot of discontinuation. When development projects come in, it's like, okay, there's people living here, but let's knock down the house. Let's, kind of prioritize on the developer side. So what we get is these truck yards, warehouses, loss of property and value, increase in pollution, and tons of gas stations. So I'd like to see a change with that. Like I've mentioned before, I'd like to see a moratorium temporarily until we can make sure that we can get these developments and accommodate them in a legal way, in a sensible way. I think this is something that I'd like to hear you guys adopt or take on. Also, I'd like you all to take a pledge, and maybe it could be this meeting or another meeting where we say, as a community member, as a local representative, and even for our IVDA and airport staff, when we see projects that have problems, when it's perpetuating racism, when it's perpetuating classism, when it's a project that will negatively impact community members, we're going to say no. We're not business friendly to interests that will harm the community, but we're going to be extremely friendly to businesses that want to partner with the community. In fact, we might help them triple or quadruple fold. We'll really, accommodate them. And those are kind of my thoughts. So I'm hoping that we can take some action. We did hear a little presentation. I'd like to see future presentations, and especially for our board members to engage with the community and maybe with our different board members present in their cities what's going on with the IVDA. How can we really make things happen for our community and really improve the economy and livelihoods of everyone? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Martha Romero.
Good evening. So piggybacking a little bit on what my comrade Daniel actually said, engaging with community, prime example. So as you guys know, quite a few months back, you guys didn't know how to reach out community, and I actually talked to Burroughs and I said, hit me up and I will actually let you know how to actually connect with community. Some of you guys have received an email invitation, but I'm here to make it, legally to actually show. Can you please pass to them? So that is actually a flyer that we're doing for community to come out, and it's a barbecue, free food, entertainment, and you guys could actually come out and talk to one-on-one with your community that has been affected by the Gateway specific plan. These people that are actually not having a relocation plan will be there present to actually hear from you guys. You guys could actually come out, free food for all. That includes you guys as well and all your staff if you guys would like to come out and attend. That's something that we are, focusing on. Like we said, to have the one-on-one with community, have that base. It is the best way to reach out and to let community know that you care about what's happening in the surrounding areas. And not only by the, that you care about the developers that might not bring great jobs to our area, and potentially harm our environment as well as harm us as cities and the people that live here. So that is on October 21st. Feel free to come out and engage with community. There will not be no Brown Act violation because you guys will not be publicly speaking about anything in regards besides commingling with community. So by all means, once again, I heard that you said that the plan is being paused. Probably
It's not paused, it's done. The plan is not happening anymore.
So it's not happening at all?
It's not happening.
So, okay. So, but it's still, so the gateway is no longer going to be happening at all?
The Gateway specific plan is not happening.
Okay.
So direct all your questions to Mike.
There you go. We're still having the barbecue, so come out and actually take advantage of that. We're still going to have to reach out community. I'm pretty sure that the cities themselves would actually have something, probably what we spoke before, which was each city taking advantage of their areas to have them develop. So we need community to be aware of this as well. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, any board member comment? Yes, Ms. Barra.
If I may address the public, I'll be doing it bilingually. I know, Daniel, you were speaking earlier about the general plan. Just know that the city of San Bernardino has been working on it currently. There is a website. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. It's the futuresb2050.com. Also, we do have planning commissioners who are residents serving on those commissions currently. And when these warehouses come through, they go through them first before they come before council. Ahora en español, para los miembros de la comunidad que quieren involucrarse y saber lo que está pasando con el plan general de la ciudad, hay una página que se llama, está en inglés, pero es Futuro San Bernardino 2050, Future SB 2050.com. Ahí pueden ingresar su información, cómo quieren ver el futuro de la ciudad. También tenemos comisionados que son residentes de la ciudad que se involucran. Y cuando vienen proyectos como almacenes a la ciudad, pasan por los comisionados primero y luego con nosotros los concejales. So, es importante que vayan también a esas juntas para que vean lo que está sucediendo, porque muchos proyectos duran años antes de que los vea uno. And it's very important that you get involved early on, find out what's going on, because some of these projects get approved years before you guys see them happening. So definitely get involved. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think this will adjourn our meeting. Thank you all for coming out today.